Tiny, tiny little startup. Profit and loss account. I hope you can all recognise something like this. First month's sales, got one job, £4,000. Coming in, taking on some premises, £1,500, and paying somebody to do the work, £2,000. So there's profit, £500, 12.5% profit, looks okay. Now we take a look at the cash flow, and £4,000 turnover in a month, £12,000 should be enough to keep you going. So say the business starts beginning of January with your £12,000 that you've got from your savings or from wherever. First thing you're caught on, rent. Unless you have a serviced office like Barry, you usually have to pay a huge deposit up front, as well as your month's rent up front. So if you're £12,000, half of it's already gone on your premises, which is why a lot of small businesses start from home, so at least you don't have that layout, sorry. So half your money's gone. You work for a month, you pay the person who's been doing the work, a couple of £1,000, and you're down to £4,000 in your bank account. £4,000, still okay, because you're about to invoice for that first month's work. £4,000 in your bank account, £4,000 that's owed to you. You haven't received it at this point. You're owed £4,000, but you haven't received it yet. And that's not going to flow into your bank account for another 30 days, if they do what they're supposed to. That's been agreed. So we're into February, we've got the £4,000 in the bank account, rent goes out again, salary goes out again, cash balance down to £500. Okay, getting a bit close to the mark, but we're still positive, we're still okay. Because you're about to invoice another £4,000 worth. So now you're owed £8,000, but you've still only got £500 in your bank account. And going into March, you've got that rent invoice again, which takes you into an overdraft. Now, because you're a good business person, you've done your business plan, you've done your cash flow forecast, you have seen this was going to happen. So way back, when you started the business, you've gone along to your bank, you've presented your management account, your business plan, you've presented your cash flow forecast, you've explained, this is what's happening, I'll be owed £8,000, but I need a £1,000 overdraft. Temporary thing, please can I have it? Bank manager, very pleased, you know what you're talking about, you've come in plenty of time, you know, this is the beginning of March, you went to see them about it back at the beginning of January because that's when you did your plan. So they say yes, and then you receive your payment for your first invoice, because February is only 28 days. Now, a lot of people, even though it says 30 days, pay at the end of the month, but watch, because some will actually stick to that 30 days credit that they're entitled to. So now you're back in the positive, you've been 24 hours in the red, bank manager's happy, back in the positive. And your next invoice is due for payment, but it doesn't come in. Now this you hadn't planned for. You're an honest business person, you pay your debts when they're due, you expect your customers to pay you. And you certainly pay your staff on time. They've got bills to pay, mortgages to pay, so that goes out. So still £1,000 in the bank, you're fine. Except there are a few other bills that you hadn't expected, because there are always more bills that you don't expect. No matter how well you plan, there always seem to be more bills than you plan for. So you're down to a zero balance, but that's fine. Zero is fine. It's a nice round number. And you're about to raise your third invoice. So £4,000. So you've got no money in the bank, but you've got £8,000 owed to you. However, half of that is overdue, and you don't know when it's going to come in. So we're into April, and we will get there. It's that rent again. Right at the beginning of the month, the advance payment. For some reason, landlords won't let you stay there rent-free, which immediately takes you into an unplanned overdraft. This is something you hadn't foreseen you'd expected to be paid on time. But it could possibly have been delayed through better sales and credit control systems. And the other thing you don't know at this point is whether that sales invoice will ever be paid. And we need to decide what we're going to do about it.